Chinese economy could well be determined in a city that even Chinese people have never heard of. As wealth trickles down to the far outposts of Chairman Mao's empire, even shoppers out there are starting to get the hang of conspicuous consumption with Chinese characteristics. But what makes consumers tick in the Chinese hinterland? Do they like the same running shoes and toothpaste flavors as their big city brethren? Welcome to the FT's How to Spend It, the Chinese small town edition.
2/3 of the growth in China will come from lower tier cities, which means that lower tier consumers will have much more disposable income to buy sporting goods products. In lower tier cities, consumers have a wider use of apparel and footwear. It is more accepted in lower tier cities for consumers to wear sportswear on many occasions than in higher tier cities where different outfits are used for different occasions.
This is Xi'an, one of the places that Adidas is counting on to jumpstart the new consumption boom. Ironically, it's also one of the most sacred sites of Chinese communism, the place where Mao Zedong spent years living in a cave during the revolution. Today, Mao impersonators every day reenact those battles in front of hordes of middle-class tourists. For Yan'an has become one of China's richest small cities. It's a perfect testing ground for the theory that small-town shoppers have enough money now to buy foreign sports shoes that cost so much they qualify as luxury goods.
阿迪达斯，我穿阿迪达斯已经好久，大概有10几年了吧。因为我以前在西安的时候，就穿运动可能会多一些。然后因为我家是在西安的嘛，所以我是到在延安这边来工作，所以我比较喜欢这个品牌。其实阿迪的衣服，我觉得是蛮有风格的。你比如说作为这个 logo 吧，是吧？它不是说每一件衣服都把这个阿迪达斯这个 logo 绣得很大，它有的可能会绣得很小，对吧？实际上你不管是坐在哪里，实际上这个衣服整个从这个款式来说呀，从我们穿的这个舒适度来说，我觉得都是蛮好的。比如说我们一块儿出去，说一个刚才您说的那个话，如果我们一起去打球的，然后我是穿那个阿迪的，有朋友穿耐克的，结果有人穿安踏的，那他就觉得很没有面子。
Yan'an has several Adidas stores, but here in Jiayuguan, where the Great Wall of China begins in the Gobi Desert, there's only one, and not much else in the way of modern retail either. This is a long way from the world that foreign brands are used to, even in China.
他们都是这一个开的也都是好车，从20几万到100万以上不等，这个车好多，就说穿着也是很时尚的，他们在我们这个地方就说只有阿迪达斯这个运动品牌是最高档的，他们上外地去买的也是有的比这一个也是其他很多国际品牌，他们一般就说去旅游。
Will Adidas' gamble pay off? China's a graveyard for failed bright ideas from foreign brands. DIY stores like B&Q and Home Depot have found the mainland market almost impossible to crack. Electronics retailers, Best Buy and Media Market, have recently pulled out.
So one of the big challenges for brands is, how do you essentially serve markets that are at different stages of development at the same time? How do you make brands relevant to both the big city consumers in Shanghai and in Beijing, as well as to the small city consumers in some of the tier 4, tier 5 and tier 6 cities, who obviously live in a different life context?
There's certainly no shortage of money in towns like this one, which just got its first department store and its first fast food restaurant. In fact, people here often have more ready cash than they do in big cities because living costs are a lot lower. But unfortunately for Beijing and for those foreign brands who depend on growth in these small cities, people here like to save money more than they like to spend it. Getting them to part with their cash for some flashy running shoes may not be as easy as it seems. I'm Patti Waldmeir, Financial Times, Jiayuguan in Gansu Province.